They were the number 2 seed out of that region, as McGrain will call time and he will stand out of the batter's box. The number 2 seed out of that region, looking to try to see here how they can work through the bottom part of the bracket. The first pitch missing away for a ball. It's 1 ball and no strikes to count here on McGrain. Juan Diego opened this tournament down at Canyon View. And the kind of the regional setup, the 1-0 pitch right on the outside corner, and the count evens up at 1-1 on Campbell McGrain, where they defeated Grantsville 10-8, but then they dropped a game to Snow Canyon 8-1. The Warriors, another team that's here out of St. George. The 1-1 pitch missing away for a ball, and it's 2-1 on Campbell McGrain. And that put Juan Diego into the 1-loss bracket. And they played earlier today, coming away with the victory down in Spanish Fork. That one blocked in the dirt, ball 3, and it's 3-1 here on Campbell McGrain. If you're just joining us, Juan Diego getting the first 3 men on base, following that up with a grand slam to right by Easton Rex. Here's the 3-1 pitch on its way to McGrain. That one's going to be popped up into right field. Sprinting in is Lowe. He will come in, he will get under it and make the catch. And there's 2 away here in the first inning. So with 2 down, here comes the catcher, Colin Helgeson. Helgeson right now looking to try to keep the inning alive. Kind of a tough spot right now if you're Carbon, because I mean, the good news is, I guess, you gave up the 4 runs in the top of the first inning. Plenty of time as Helgeson lines a shot into right field for a base hit. And the 2-out single by Helgeson will send the 8th man here to the plate in the inning, bring up first baseman Colby Finn. You have plenty of time right now if you're Carbon to kind of work your way back into this one. But the biggest thing that's going to need to happen is going to need some outs and no more runs, as Colby Finn will stand in, the first baseman. 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. And Lorenzo Soto will come in to run as the speed-up runner for Colin Helgeson. Soto with good speed, so keep an eye on Soto here. As Finn swings at the first pitch and hits it deep to left field, going back, still going back, it's going to go all the way to the wall. Barlow, I don't know if he misplayed it or the ball just went over his head, and scoring from first is Soto. It's 5-0 in favor right now of Juan Diego. So Finn will get the RBI double as the 5th run of the inning comes in, and there's where you see, if you're not familiar with high school baseball, there you see where the speed-up runner over at first and Lorenzo Soto able to quickly find his way around the base paths. There's that one hit deep. Josh Barlow playing a little bit more, kind of hugging the line, so a big gap out there in left center field. First pitch on its way. That one's in there for a called strike. Colby Gagan, the left fielder, will stand in. All 9 men coming to the plate here in the first for Juan Diego. Gavin Robinette ready to work here from the stretch. Takes a look out at second. And here comes the pickoff move, the throw, diving back safely is Colby Finn. Juan Diego went 12-3 in Region 11, 17-10 overall. Finished second to Bear River. That one right on the outside corner is going to be a call to strike, and it's 0-2 on Gagan. Juan Diego finishing just one game back of Bear River. Ridgeline, the team that played in the game before, finishing a game behind Juan Diego. So a very competitive region for the Soaring Eagle. That one swung out a miss, strike 3, the second strikeout for Robinette, and the top of the first inning comes to an end here at Brent Brown Ballpark in Orem. But the damage is done. The Soaring Eagles score 5. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Juan Diego 5 and Carbon coming up here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com.
After 1/2 inning of play, Juan Diego 5, Carbon coming to bat.
Bottom of the first inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark in Orem, Utah. Carbon coming up, and the Dinos have some work to do, as leading off will be the shortstop. It will be Ty Anderson, Gavin Robinette, and Cody Lowe coming up. And Cooper Rust delivers the first pitch just below the knees for a called strike, and it's 0-1. We'll give you the Carbon lineup here as we go in the bottom of the first inning. Rust ready to go here as he delivers the 0-1 pitch. That's going to be a ground ball. Hit it to the shortstop as Hamill throws across the diamond in time to get the speedy Anderson, and there's a one away. Out of the lineup for Carbon, Ty Anderson, the shortstop, leads it off. Gavin Robinette, the pitcher, hits in the 2 spot. The right fielder, Cody Lowe, will hit third. Chase Morgan at third base hits cleanup. Cameron Gunter, the second baseman, hits in the 5 spot. Nate Olson, the DH, hits 6th. Jaden Robertson, as the pitch comes in and bounces in for ball 1 to Gavin Robinette. Jaden Robertson, the first baseman, hits 6th. It will be Wyatt Wilson, the center fielder, hitting 8th, and then it will be Josh Barlow rounding out the order. That one rolled foul by Robinette and evens the count up a 1-1 strike. Anthony Jones will be the catcher tonight for Carbon, but will not hit in the starting lineup. The 0-1 pitch, or the 1-1 pitch, about to come home. That one a fastball that misses low and outside, ball 2. It's 2 balls and a strike. The count here on Robinette. The defense for Juan Diego in the outfield from left to right. It will be Gagin in left. In center field, it will be Dalton Gray. Jared Perry's in right field. And speaking of Jared Perry, he's back underneath the fly ball hit to right. And he'll reach up and make the catch, and there's 2 away. On the infield for Juan Diego, it will be from third to first. The third baseman, Campbell McGrain. Phil Hamill, the shortstop. Over at second base tonight will be Dawson Stiefel. Over at first, Colby Finn. Behind the plate and catching will be Colin Helgeson. And the first pitch in there, a called strike to Cody Lowe, the right fielder. The fastball just touching the outside corner, and it's quickly no balls and a strike. Rust kicks and delivers. Here's the 0-1 pitch, a breaking ball. It's fouled back to the screen, and it's 0-2 here on Cody Lowe. Carbon needing to get some offense going here in the early part of this one to maybe get some momentum back and to chip away at the lead. The 0-2 pitch on its way, a fastball that stays high, just above the letters there on the uniform, and it's 1-2 on Cody Lowe. Here's the 1-2 pitch, the kick and the delivery on its way. Fastball misses low and outside, and it count evens up, 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Cody Lowe. Infield playing back here for Juan Diego. Cooper Rust working pretty quick on the mound, and the 2-2 pitch on its way right there. Called strike 3 on the outside corner, and Cooper Rust has his first strikeout, and Carbon goes down in order 1-2-3. We head to the second here at Brent Brown Ballpark. Juan Diego 5, Carbon 0. You're watching the 2017 3A Utah State Baseball Tournament on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Well, we head to the top of the second inning here from Brent Brown Ballpark. Juan Diego scoring 5 in the top of the first. It's the top of the Soaring Eagle lineup, and Dawson Stiefel stands in, and Swings through it and misses. It's no balls and a strike here on the leadoff man for Juan Diego. Stiefel walked in his first at bat and came around to score a run on the home run by Easton Rex. Here's the 0-1 pitch on its way. That one's fouled straight back to the screen, and it's 0-2 the count here on Stiefel. So really right now, if you're Carbon, all you can really do is put that behind you and try to play from behind. Here's the 0-2 pitch on its way. That one right on the corner, called strike three, and Stiefel looks at it. That is the third strikeout. Sorry, that's the second strikeout for Gavin Robinette on the evening. Nope, I'm sorry. That's the third strikeout. Robinette got Cooper Rust and also Gagnon, the left fielder, to go down on strikes. One away, here's Phil Hamill, reached on an infield single. And the first pitch, there's the curveball. It settles right on the outside corner, and it's no balls and one strike here on the shortstop, Phil Hamill. Infield playing back here for Carbon. The 0-1 pitch on its way. That one high and tight, and Hamill just kind of watches that one come up and in, and the count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike. The lights beginning to come on here at Brent Brown Ballpark. As night begins to fall, the 1-1 pitch. That one's going to be bounced right to second, and bobbling it is Gunter, and the throw to first is in just in the nick of time to get the runner Hamill. A bang-bang play at first. Gunter almost there, knocking the baseball down, but not able to make a quick, almost there. Anyway, didn't get Hamill. So 2 down. Here's the center fielder, Dalton Gray, singled and scored back in the first. Robinette really kind of settling back in, and the pitch on its way, and Gray lines this one to center, coming over, making a diving attempt, and he makes the catch in center field. Is going to be Wyatt Wilson, who runs it down, and the inning's over. Juan Diego goes down 1-2-3 in the second. Carbon coming up here with some work to do. It's Juan Diego 5, Carbon 0 here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com.
Juan Diego in the top of the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. There are no runners left on base. Leading off for Carbon, 23rd base, number 5, Chase Morgan.
The cleanup hitter and third baseman Chase Morgan stands in for Carbon, and the first pitch missing low for ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. It will be Morgan, Gunter, and Olson, the middle part, 4, 5, and 6 for the Dinos here in the second, and the pitch on its way is going to be lifted, but that one's going to hook well foul down the first baseline, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike here on Chase Morgan. Brent Brown Ballpark will be very busy over the next 8 or so days. The 1-1 pitch is going to be lined down the third baseline. It's going to stay fair and roll down into the corner for Chase Morgan. He's digging into second. He'll be there standing up as the relay throw comes in, and Carbon has their first hit of the ball game. A leadoff double by Chase Morgan as the Dinos look to try to get back in it. And here's Cameron Gunter. Carbon in a pretty nice position here because of the fact that even at this point, if they can put up just some zeros, they can chip back in, score a run here or there. They don't really need to get all 5 runs back here in the second, although they would take it. Just getting 1 or 2 back here and there would work. Pitch on its way, and that one's going to be taken for a fastball for a called strike by Cameron Gunter, and it's 0-1. Winner of this one moves into tomorrow. It's a 1:30 game against Pineview. 3 more games coming up tomorrow before the championship will be awarded out on Saturday. The 0-1 pitch outside for a ball, and the count evens up at 1-1. Snow Canyon will get Canyon View tomorrow at 11 a.m. And then Pineview gets the winner of this one. And then the 2 winners from tomorrow morning and early afternoon contest, they'll meet again at 7. That pitch is going to be hit into right field, going to be down the line and just go foul and out of the reach there of Colby Finn, the first baseman, and it's 0-1. One other game at 4:30, it will be Dixie and Park City. The winner of that one will clinch a spot in Saturday's noon state championship game. So for the Flyers and the Miners, a really good opportunity to not have to sit around and play more baseball before the state championship. Nobody out here, bottom of the second inning, a 5-0 lead for Juan Diego. The 1-2 pitch, and that one's going to be hit well out to right. Going back and now looking, still trying to fight it. It's going to fall and go to the wall. Here comes Gunter. He's around second. He'll go to third, getting the green light, and scoring is going to be Chase Morgan. And in there with a stand-up triple is the third baseman, Cameron Gunter. It's 5-1 as the Dinos strike back here in the second. A big RBI triple, as it was Jared Perry, who I don't know if he misjudged it off the bat, but all of a sudden started sprinting towards that deep right center field part of the park and just couldn't quite get there. Here's the DH, Nate Olson. The first pitch, a fastball, stays high, and it's 1 ball and no strikes here on the Carbon designated hitter. Olson here in the right side with that well-open stance. Doesn't need a hit here to get that run home. The 1-0 pitch is going to miss low and away, ball 2, and it's 2 balls and no strikes here on Nate Olson. The infield will play back here for Juan Diego in most spots. The only spot where they're playing really kind of in is going to be at third base with McGrain. He's playing maybe a step or 2 behind the bag. That one misses high, ball 3. It's 3 balls and no strikes to count here on Nate Olson. The breeze blowing here tonight at Brent Brown Ballpark. We're in the 40s here. The 3-0 pitch swung out and missed, and chasing one that was a little high and outside there was Olson, and it's 3-1. Cooper Rust really just navigated the first inning with no trouble. The 3-1 pitch on its way, a breaking ball that breaks back in over the middle of the plate, and it's 3-2 here on Nate Olson. Running over at third base is Cameron Gunter. He just had the RBI triple. Here's the 3-2 pitch on its way. That one's lifted by Olson to left field. Going back on it is Gannon, the left fielder. He will make the catch on the warning track. Tagging and coming in to score with ease will be Gunter. And Carbon able to add a run here in the second. It's now a 5-2 lead for Juan Diego. They're able to chip back in on the sacrifice fly from Olson, and there's 1 out for Jaden Robertson. So if you're Carbon, just kind of what the doctor ordered, you get a couple of runs on a couple of hits. Still some more work to do here with only 1 out. And the first pitch on its way, a fastball that hits the outside corner at the knees, and it's 0-1 on Jaden Robertson. Infield playing back here for Juan Diego is the 0-1 pitch. Is swung out and missed, and it's 0-2 the count here on Jaden Robertson. Rust will work pretty quick on the mound, not wasting much time between pitches. The 0-2 pitch, that one a fastball that misses well off the plate. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes the count here on Jaden Robertson. Wyatt Wilson, the center fielder, would hit next. Here's the 1-2 pitch on its way, a fastball that misses low, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch, misses low, ball 3, and the count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Robertson. Infield will play back here for Juan Diego. With nobody on and 1 away. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Rust. That one's like right back, and it hits Rust right in the arm as he falls to the ground. The runner will be safe. Time will be called. That one just a laser beam right back, and I don't think it got him in the arm. It looks like it got him more in the hip, and you could hear the sound of that hitting him from here. And we'll have to see here how this one, he's moving pretty kind of, I guess, fragile on the pitcher's mound here. That will be a base hit, however, for Jaden Robertson, as that 3-2 fastball just lined right back to the hill. As some conversation here will go here as head coach Kellen Carsey out to have a quick conversation with his pitcher to make sure that he's going to be okay. It wouldn't surprise me here if they have him throw a couple just to make sure that he's okay, as Rust still kind of walking it off on the mound here. That was no, I mean, a lot of hard balls are hit back to you, and that's kind of the negative side, I guess, from being a pitcher. There's not much protection in between you and home plate if a ball comes back to you. And to give Cooper Rust credit, Rust did a nice job of trying to get the glove up there, but Rust just couldn't quite get there, as they'll let Rust throw a few pitches, make sure that he's okay. However, now that he's back on the mound, he seems to be throwing pretty good. Maybe a little bit of pain, I'm sure, but looks like for the meantime anyway, he will stay in the ball game, and the inning will continue. Carbon will have a runner over at first. That is going to be Jaden Robertson, as now Wyatt Wilson, the center fielder, will come to the plate. 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning, 2 runs in for Carbon. The Pineview Panthers are in attendance here, sitting in the first few rows. As a small crowd, but a pretty good sized crowd, braving the cool here at Brent Brown Ballpark, and the pitch on its way, swung out and missed by Wyatt Wilson. It snowballs on a strike. 3:05 directly down the left field line here at Brent Brown Ballpark. No balls and a strike to count. 4:08 to dead center, 4:25 or so out in the gap, as Wilson there, I think, tried to hold up his swing but couldn't. And it's 0-2 the count on the center fielder, Wyatt Wilson. A runner over at first base. Jaden Robertson gets his lead, being held on by Finn. Fastball swung out and missed, strike 3. So Cooper Rust able to battle back after the line drive, gets his second strikeout of the ball game, and now that's going to bring up the left fielder, Josh Barlow.
Left fielder number 6, Josh Barlow.
Barlow will stand in here from the left side, looking to try to see here if Carbon can keep the inning going, as Rust will work back from the stretch, and the first pitch is going to be fouled away and off, I believe, the catcher's gear of Colin Helgeson. And it's no balls and a strike here on Josh Barlow. Barlow standing back in, no balls and a strike to count. A Rust from the stretch, fouled straight back to the screen, and it's 0-2 the count on Josh Barlow. A lot of jackets, a lot of sweatshirts and blankets out here. As for the month of May, this is a cool start here, middle of the month. The 0-2 pitch misses away for a ball. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. The Class 4A state tournament here majority of next week, and then the 5A state tournament will move here at the end of the week, and but it's going to be a little bit warmer, so mid to upper 70s. The 1-2 pitch, fastball stays high, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cooper Rust trying to work through this here in the second inning. Does right now have a 3-run lead anyway. Robertson gets his lead over at first. Rust from the stretch takes a look over at first. The 2-2 pitch swung out and missed, strike 3. And Cooper Rust with his 3rd strikeout here as we will head to the 3rd. Carbon adds a pair on a couple hits. And at the end of 2, it's Juan Diego 5, Carbon 2. You're watching the 3A State Baseball Tournament here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Top of the 3rd inning here in Orem, Utah, 5-2 lead for Juan Diego. As right now, both pitchers starting to settle in. Gavin Robinette sent the Soaring Eagle down 1-2-3 in the second. As it will be Easton Rex, the designated hitter, who stands in. The first pitch he sees, a fastball that hits the inside corner. No balls and a strike on Easton Rex. Rex hit the grand slam back in the first. A home run to kind of mid-right field. The 0-1 pitch on its way, and that one fouled straight back to the screen, and it's 0-2. Beginning to wonder how that injury affected Cooper Rust as a left-hander beginning to throw down in the bullpen here for Juan Diego. You never want to see a line drive come right back at the pitcher, much less if you're Juan Diego in the second inning. The 0-2 pitch about to come home, and Rex pops that one up into mid-center field, as it's going to be Wyatt Wilson who's there to make the catch. There's one away in the 3rd. So the last 5 Juan Diego hitters have been sent down, and now it's going to bring up the pitcher Cooper Rust will hit here. Rust struck out in his first at-bat. Will stand in. We'll see here how he hits after the line drive, and the pitch on its way to Rust. Fastball misses away, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. If you're just joining us, Juan Diego, gray pants and kind of a teal and a dark blue uniform. Carbon white pants and the black and blue tops. The 1-0 pitch right off the plate, ball 2. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. The count here on Rust as the ball from the bullpen gets down back behind home plate. They'll call a quick time here. Two balls and no strikes. The 2-0 pitch about to come home on its way. And that one's going to be lifted into right center field. Going back, coming over is Wilson. He'll run it down in right center field. And there's 2 away. A nice job by Wyatt Wilson, as he had to come a long way there from center field to be able to run that one down. And with 2 outs, it's going to bring up the 3rd baseman, Campbell McGrain. McGrain, the 3rd baseman, 0 for 1, flew out to right in his only plate appearance of the evening. Gavin Robinette settling in here. The breaking ball comes in right at the knees. It's no balls and a strike. And kind of a rough start for Robinette that you may not have expected if you're Carbon, but just those fastballs being left up in the zone and Rex, with one swing of the bat, really opened this one up. The 0-1 pitch misses high, and the count evens up at 1-1. But the important thing here is if Robinette can really just throw some strikes, get some outs, it can take some of the pressure off. Here's the 1-1 pitch, lined right back through the box for a base hit. Robinette tried to kind of stab it with his glove, but couldn't. And a 2-out single here for Campbell McGrain will extend the inning, and here comes the catcher, Colin Helgeson. Helgeson had a hard hit base hit to right field in his first plate appearance.
The catcher, number 17, Colin Helgeson.
Helgeson will stand back in here as night begins to fall here at Brett Brown Ballpark in Orem. Ready to go here from the stretch. The runner gets his lead and the pitch on its way. Fastball missing away for a ball. It's 1-0 on Helgeson. Day 1 of 3 here from the Class 3A State Baseball Tournament. Today, tomorrow, and Saturday to kind of finish everything off with when we will crown the 3A State Championship. There's a pickoff move. They got him. A good move by Gavin Robinette, and they were able to catch McGrain, I think, kind of leaning towards the bag. And the Dinos have the momentum again as we head to the bottom of the third. Carbon added 2 in the second to come back within 3. Will Carbon add a couple more? We'll find out after the break here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com.
Left on base. Leading off the Carbon, the shortstop, number 9, Ty Anderson.
The top of the lineup coming up for Carbon. Here's shortstop Ty Anderson, who bounces one deep in the hole. Hamill slides and won't have a throw as the ball kind of slips out of his glove. And quickly over to get it there was McGrain. Ran to get the baseball, but Ty Anderson's aboard here to lead off the third inning for Carbon. So a nice opportunity here for Carbon after doing an important thing. Since the 5-run first for Juan Diego, it's important to chip away with a run or two here and there, but it's also important to put up zeros defensively. So here's Gavin Robinette, the pitcher, looking to help his own cause. He's 0 for 1 this evening with a fly out to right. Robinette swings at the first pitch, pops it up foul. As it hits off the rooftop here at Brett Brown Ballpark. There's a netting, if you're just joining us, and you can kind of see it at home right now, back behind. There's a netting that extends from the third base dugout all the way to the other side on the first base side. The pickoff move and diving back safely underneath the tag is Ty Anderson. That netting extends from the backstop all the way up behind home plate. It extends all the way almost to the rooftop as the 0-1 pitch misses for a ball. It's 1-1. There's just some little kind of gaps and seams where the baseball can come up off the net and come in between the rooftop and the seats. But generally, if you're in the first 4 rows, or you're not going to have a shot at the foul ball. There's a breaking ball. It comes inside and tight, and it hits Robinette. And so Carbon now, with runners on at first and second, nobody out, will have an opportunity here for sure to get a couple of runners. As we'll see here, we'll have a runner come in over at first base for the pitcher. And that is going to be number 15. That is Daniel Vega, who will run over at first base. He will courtesy run for Gavin Robinette. So Vega into run for Robinette. And with nobody out, it's going to be Cody Lowe, the right fielder. Lowe 0 for 1, went down on strikes in his first plate appearance this evening. And we'll see if Carbon just maybe moves the runners along with the sacrifice bunt, or they'll let Lowe swing the bat here. Russ ready to go, and no sign of a bunt here. Is that one taken low for a ball to Cody Lowe? It would make some sense. Your 3-hole hitter, definitely not generally somebody you'll see at higher levels of baseball lay down a bunt, but the lower levels, you never know. The 1-0 pitch on its way, swung on and missed, and it's 1-1. A big cut there from Lowe, and he came up empty. It's 1-1 on Cody Lowe. Ty Anderson with good speed running on at second for Carbon. Daniel Vega running over at first as the speed up runner for Gavin Robinette. Here's the 1-1 pitch on its way. That one in there at the knees, and it's 1-2 the count here on Cody Lowe. One of the big changes from when we were together here last year at Brent Brown Ballpark for the 4A and 5A state tournaments was the design and the creation of the pitch counts for pitchers. We'll be trying to track that throughout the tournament. The 1-2 pitch swung out and missed, strike 3, and down on strikes goes Cody Lowe for the second time. That is strikeout number 4 on the evening for Cooper Rust. And now that's going to bring up the third baseman, Chase Morgan. Morgan had the first hit of the ball game for Carbon. It was a double just down the left field line into the corner past the third baseman, McGrain. Pitch on its way, and that one fouled back to the screen. And it's 0-1 on Chase Morgan. Carbon on the season, the number 3 seed out of Region 12. They started up at Park City against the Miners in their kind of a regional cluster, so to speak, just open up the tournament. The 0-1 pitch about ready to come home, and it's coming on its way. It's going to be grounded down the third baseline. It's going to roll foul right as Cooper Rust goes to pick it up. Probably a good thing it rolled foul, as you wouldn't have had a good play really at anybody there. It's going to be 0-2 on Morgan. He'll make his way back in the batter's box. Carbon opened up the tournament. They lost to the Desert Hills Thunder 7-1 up at Park City. And that immediately put them in the 1-loss bracket. They played their second game at Wasatch High School. No balls and 2 strikes to count, where they defeated the Morgan Trojans 13-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch on its way, a fastball that misses low and away, and it's 1-2 the count here on Chase Morgan. And then earlier today, Carbon defeated Stansbury down at Nelson Field in Spanish Fork by a final of 4-3. The winner of this one gets Pine View tomorrow. Here's the 1-2 pitch about to come home, and the delivery is going to be grounded foul down the third baseline. And it's 1-2 the count here on Chase Morgan. So Morgan standing in and battling here with 1 away in the bottom of the third inning, looking to try to see if somehow as we see the Seagulls coming onto the field here. They've been around the last few weeks. They've been here for some UVU baseball, and the Seagulls have been flying around here. Right now, hanging out in left center field as you see them on your picture at home. The 1-2 pitch about ready to come home. Here's the 1-2. That one's going to be lifted down the right field line and back out of play. And once again, it will be 1-2 here on Chase Morgan. Cooper Rust, the right-hander, taking a look out at second base. Helgeson behind the plate, looking into the dugout to get the sign to Rust. A big inning right now for Cooper Rust to try to limit the damage. It's right now to only the 2 runs. The breaking ball, a big defensive swing there. the defensive swing there by Chase Morgan, a pitch that was really up and inside. I don't really think it was a strike, but Morgan must have thought there was at least a chance that it was going to maybe curve back in on the inside corner. Was able to foul that one away. And it's 1-2 the count on Morgan. From the stretch, here's the pitch on its way. And Chase Morgan hits that one to left field. Going back and getting under it, making the catch over his shoulder. And a quick underhand toss to Dalton Gray, and tagging and getting from second down to third is Ty Anderson. A heads-up play by the left fielder Gagan in left field, because his back was to the infield. Dalton Gray was coming over, and he just made the catch and quickly flipped it to Gray, whose momentum was coming more towards the infield. They're able to try to keep the runner at second, but Ty Anderson with good speed moves up. Two away here in the third. Here's Cameron Gunter. Pitch on its way. Gunter takes that one in at the knees, and it's no balls and a strike. Gunter with the RBI triple came around to score a run back in the second. Right now is Carbon looking to try to see if they can add to their lead here. No balls and a strike to count, ready to go. That one's lined up over the head easily into right center field. That will get Anderson home. Coming around second, and the stop sign being held on is going to be the runner Vega, and a double here by Cameron Gunter puts the tying run in scoring position as Anderson was able to score. And now the tying run on second base, and here is Nate Olson. So Cooper Rust just misses over the plate, and a nice job and a good piece of hitting there by Cameron Gunter to just line it into right center field, and I was able to kind of run for a little while. Here's Nate Olson, who has a sacrifice fly in his first plate appearance. That one's on the outside corner with the curveball, and it's no balls and a strike here on Nate Olson. Cloudy evening here on a chilly night here from Brent Brown Ballpark. The 0-1 pitch ready to come home. Rust, and that one swung out and missed there. The fastball just blew by him. It's 0-2. To give you an idea, tomorrow is supposed to be partly sunny and 61, and then Saturday for the state championship, sunny and about 69. So the weather progressively getting warmer throughout the week here. The breaking ball just off the plate, and you can tell Juan Diego and Cooper Rust wanted that one for a called strike three on the outside corner. Didn't get it, and it's now 1-2 here on Olson. That one maybe just a tad outside, just off the plate. Here's the pitch on its way, and Olson fouls this one right back to the screen, and it's 1-2 the count. Still on the right-handed hitting Nate Olson. Carbon, the home team here, are in the bottom of the third inning, a 5-3 lead for Juan Diego. The tying run on at second base, time called and awarded here to Nate Olson. We saw it in the game before ours here, the game between Canyon View and Ridgeline. I believe it was that one's going to get to the backstop, coming in from third, and it's going to throw to the plate, not in time. Getting in is going to be Vega, and moving up to third is Cameron Gunter. It's a 5-4 ball game. So able to move up, and that's the dangers of the ball getting past the catcher. And now I think we're going to have a visit out to the mound. I'm not sure if that's going to be the head coach, Kellen Carsey, but that's going to be it. That's going to be it for Cooper Rust. He will come off the field here with 2 outs, and I believe it's going to be Dalton Gray, the center fielder, who will come in from center. We'll take a break here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. We'll get the defensive changes and the new pitcher for you here momentarily. Juan Diego 5, Carbon 4, but the Dinos threatening the tying run on at third base. Well, Dalton Gray, the new pitcher coming in here for Juan Diego, and the first pitch is swung on and missed by Olson, and that one is going to be the final strike of the inning. So Carbon adds 2. We head to the 4th. It's a 5-4 lead for Juan Diego. You're watching the 2017 Class 3A Utah State Baseball Tournament on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com.
Carbon in the bottom of the 3rd inning. He scored 2 runs on 2 hits. For no errors, 1 runner left on base. After 3 complete innings of play, Juan Diego 5, Carbon 4.
Well, we moved to the top of the 4th inning here in Orem, Utah, the 2017 Class 3A Utah State Baseball Tournament. As the catcher, Colin Helgeson, will stand in and lead it off. It's going to be Helgeson, Finn, and then Colby Gagan, the left fielder. The pitch on its way, and that one by Helgeson's hit out to right center field, and that is going to split the outfielders and roll to the fence. Helgeson's in the deepest part of the park. He'll round second. He's going to go to 3rd. The relay throw goes to Anderson. The late throw goes high right into the glove of the pitcher covering. And a leadoff triple for Colin Helgeson. So Helgeson with his 2nd hit of the night. This one for extra bases, and that's quickly, I believe, going to bring in Lorenzo Soto to run over at first base. And it is. It's Soto to courtesy run or speed up run for the catcher Helgeson. And here's Colby Finn. Finn an RBI double and his only plate appearance back in the 1st. And we'll see if Carbon brings the infield in. They'll kind of play medium deep up the middle, but the corners will play in, preventing a run from scoring. But we'll see what happens here. Nobody out in the first pitch to Colby Finn. He pops it up, but this one will go well foul as no balls and a strike. The count here on Colby Finn. Lights beginning to take a little more effect here at Brent Brown Ballpark. Just past 8 p.m. here in Orem. No balls and a strike. The count ready to go. The right-hander will kick and deliver. The 0-1 pitch right there, the breaking ball. It settles in on the outside corner. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. The count on Colby Finn. Finn here looking for, again, Colby Finn, kind of like a situation Carbon was in the bottom of the inning, bottom of the 3rd inning. They don't need necessarily a hit to get the run home. The 0-2 pitch on its way, a fastball that stays high, and it's 1-2 the count. Really, what they need is a fly ball to the outfield that's deep enough will get the run in. A ground ball hit up the middle, as long as it wasn't hit overly sharp, would also get the run home. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count here on Colby Finn. From the stretch, the 1-2 pitch, right on the outside corner. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Colby Finn. Juan Diego, 5 runs on 7 hits and no errors. Carbon with 4 runs on 5 hits and no errors. Ready to go. Here's the 2-2 pitch on its way. That one's bounced right back to the pitcher. The runner will have to hold at 3rd, and they'll throw Finn out at 1st. And there's 1 away here in the 4th. A big out right there if you're Gavin Robinette, because you not just get the out, but the run doesn't come in to score. So with 1 away, here is going to be the left fielder, Colby Gagon, to stand in here. will stand in here with one away. The pitch right on the outside corner for a ball. It's 1 ball and no strikes. The sun right now peeking just through the clouds, coming up over Utah Lake here in Utah County. We'll be setting over the Okra Mountains. Here's the 1-0 pitch on its way. That one just below the knees for a ball. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. You won't see it tonight because of the fact that there's clouds, but tomorrow night and into next week's 4A state tournament, between about 7:15 and 8:15, the left side of the field here can be kind of difficult to play. The 2-0 pitch inside and tight. That one misses for ball 3. And it's 3-0 on Colby Gagan. Infield will play back up the middle. Robinette looking for that big out here. The 3-0 pitch misses high, ball 4. And Juan Diego now has runners on the corners. The first, I believe that's only the first, take that back. That is walk number 2 allowed tonight by Gavin Robinette. And now with runners on the corners, we will see Anthony Jones, the catcher, kind of go through some signs defensively here to make sure everybody's on the same page here, as it will be Dawson Stiefel, the second baseman, the new right fielder, where he moved after last inning. That one blocked in the dirt for ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. We'll get all the defensive changes for Juan Diego for you in the bottom of the inning, unless they become relevant here, with Stiefel, the right fielder, standing in. Stiefel with a walk and a strikeout. 1-0 pitch, that one blocked in the dirt, coming in from third, and scoring is going to be Soto, and it's a 6-4 lead for Juan Diego. So those extra bases really coming back right there to help out Juan Diego, as the triple by Helgeson, it takes a lot of the pressure off of Stiefel, as they're able to get the run home without having to necessarily come up with a hit. 2 balls and no strikes the count here on Stiefel. The pitch on its way inside and tight. That one's a called strike, and it's 2-1. Gavin Robinette, the pitcher on the mound, working here for Carbon, has done his job, has really kept the Dinos in this one. Robinette will check the runner at second. Not too worried about him here. He'll take another gander out there, and the pitch high and misses ball 3. 3 balls and a strike here to Stiefel. The hard part, if you're Carbon, is you don't want Robinette to be overly concerned right now with the runner out at second base, because you want him to make sure that he has a good pitch here for Stiefel. 3-1. The breaking ball, that one's grounded to short. They'll go over to first, and they'll get Stiefel. A nice throw from Ty Anderson, and there's 2 away. The runner advances to third, and now it's going to bring up Phil Hamill, the shortstop. Hamill 1 for 2, has singled and grounded to second. His last at bat, he hit a ball over to Gunter, the second baseman, and Gunter bobbled the baseball. It kicked away from him a little bit, but Gunter able to quickly recover and make a good throw over to first. That was in time to get Hamill. 2 away, and the pitch on its way. A fastball entered at the knees, and it's 0-1 to count on Phil Hamill. 2 outs. Juan Diego looking right now for a big 2-out hit to extend their lead here at the top of the 4th inning. The 0-1 pitch about to come home. That one inside and blocked in the dirt. A good stop by Jones, and it's 1-1. Before we sign off at the end of day 1 tonight, we'll set the picture for you tomorrow on day 2 of this tournament. We'll know the complete schedule for tomorrow at the end of this one. Here's the 1-1 pitch on its way home. That one's going to be hit down the third baseline and pulled foul. And it's 1-2 the count here on Phil Hamill. Some more of the 4A and 5A state tournament being played today at home sites. We know some of the teams that will be in the state quarterfinals at the top. The 1-2 pitch. That one's lined to center field. The question is, will it fall? Making a diving attempt, and it gets past the center fielder. That is Wilson all the way to the deepest part of the park. Over to get it is Lowe. They're going to send, coming around third, and it's going to be scoring on the play with ease, is going to be Phil Hamill, and that will probably be ruled an inside the park home run on the diving attempt by Wilson. He just couldn't come up with it, and Hamill was easily going to score. With the fact that the outfielders for Carbon are playing more towards the lines, that was going to be a tough play, and that will be, I believe, and they will rule that, at least on the scoreboard here at Brent Brown Ballpark, it will be an inside the park home run for Phil Hamill. As it put right there, Wyatt Wilson may have had a better shot at just letting that kind of one hop, but it looked like to me that he made a diving attempt at it, and the ball just got underneath him and rolled to the backstop. The pitcher, Dalton Gray, takes the first pitch. That's in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. So it's an 8-4 lead right now for Juan Diego. No ball and a strike, the count here on Gray. He pulls this one foul down the right field line, and it's 0-2 on Dalton Gray. Cooper Rust, I have him anyway, his line tonight, 2 2/3, 4 hits, 4 runs. I believe all 4 of those runs are going to be earned. No walks and 4 strikeouts. That's a completely kind of unofficial line, so to speak. And here's the 0-2 pitch to Dalton Gray. That one high and tight for a ball, and it's 1-2 on Gray. Looking right now to see what happens. In fact, I think the home plate umpire just put up 2 balls and 1 strike. The count here on Dalton Gray, and the pitch on its way home. That one high, ball 3. It's 3-1 on Dalton Gray. Ready to go. Here's the 3-1 pitch about to come home. Robinette ready to go. Kicks and delivers the 3-1 pitch. Checks his swing, and that one misses. And Gray able to get on for the second time tonight. The second walk of the inning, and now that extends the inning. And here comes Easton Rex. We're going to have a visit out to the mound here by one of the coaches for Carbon. Again, not sure if that's head coach Jeff Sinersos or not. I don't believe it is. And we're going to have a pitching change here for Carbon. So we'll take a short break here. We'll get all the new pitchers and everything all squared away for you. It's an 8-4 lead for Juan Diego. It's the 2017 Class 3A Utah State Baseball Tournament on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com.
Now pitching for Carbon, number 5, Chase Morgan. Entering the game and playing third base is number 10, Colin Lewis. Now batting the designated hitter, number 16, Easton Rex.
Easton Rex swings through the first pitch, and taking off and stealing second base was Dalton Gray. And, well, we got some changes for you here for Carbon, as it will be the new pitcher will be Chase Morgan, the third baseman. The starting pitcher, Gavin Robinette, well, he moves over to first base. So Chase Morgan, the right-hander, working here from the stretch. Here's the 1-0 pitch on its way. That one missing just low ball 2. It's 2 balls and no strikes. And the new third baseman coming in for Carbon. And now we're going to have a visit out here to the mound. The new third baseman is going to be number 10. That appears to be Colin Lewis here, the new third baseman. So Colin Lewis in at third. So those are all the changes that I can tell as of right now. It'll be a 2-ball, no strike count here on Easton Rex. Rex hit a grand slam and flew out to center. Ready to go here from the stretch, and the 2-0 pitch about to come home on its way. That one right on the outside corner. It's 2 balls and a strike to count here on Easton Rex. Rex hit the grand slam back in the first for Juan Diego, and also has flown out to center field. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. The 2-1 pitch is lifted down the line and foul. Hits off the roof down the third baseline, and will do it again here with 2 balls and 2 strikes. They count a new baseball out there for Chase Morgan. The final game of the day here from Brent Brown Ballpark. Working here from the stretch, and the 2-2 pitch. Checks his swing, called. Strike 3 on the inside corner. And Chase Morgan gets his first strikeout of the ball game there, and that ends our inning. But 3 runs across here for Juan Diego. They get him on 2 hits. And we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's an 8-4 lead for the Soaring Eagle on top of Carbon. The Dinos coming up after the break with some work to do here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Well, the bottom of the 4th inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark. Carbon coming up. They have some work to do. And leading off will be Colin Lewis. So it will be Lewis hitting in the spot for Jaden Robertson. And he, it looks like, gets hit on the first pitch, and Colin Lewis is aboard. So Lewis in for Jaden Robertson, who comes out of the ball game. Make that note here as he gets hit by the pitch. Here's center fielder Wyatt Wilson. Wilson struck out back in his first plate appearance in the 2nd inning. And the first pitch on its way is misses low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. The count here on Wyatt Wilson. Juan Diego has only scored in 2 innings tonight. They, however, have used a 5-run first and a 3-run 4th inning. The 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike, and it's 1-1. They count on Wyatt Wilson. Lewis, not a big lead over at first. The pitch missing away. It's 2 balls and a strike. Double play depth up the middle for Cooper Rust at second, who moved from the pitcher spot into the second base spot. Dawson Stiefel, who started at second base, he moves out to right field. The 2-1 pitch misses ball 3. It's 3 balls and a strike. Jared Perry, the starting right fielder for Juan Diego, he moves from right over to center field. So some good, interesting changes right there. And it's 3-1. The pitch on its way, swung out and missed. Strike 2, and the count runs full here on Wyatt Wilson. Dalton Gray, the left-hander, in relief of Cooper Rust. The 3-2 pitch on its way, swung out and missed. Strike 3, as Gray just challenged him with a high fastball. That's the second strikeout of the inning of the ball game for Gray. His first batter,
left fielder, number 6, Josh Barlow,
was a strikeout. And here comes Josh Barlow. Barlow hitting here from the right side against the left-handed pitching Gray. And the first pitch on its way is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Barlow 0 for 1, went down on strikes against Cooper Rust. Barlow appears anyway to be switch hitting. Hit the first time from the left side of the plate. The 0-1 pitch is going to be fouled away, and it's 0-2 the count here on Josh Barlow. Dalton Gray, the pitcher right now for Juan Diego, has done a nice job in relief. Colin Lewis getting his lead over at first, and the pitch on its way, a fastball that stays high. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes the count here on Josh Barlow. Runners on the corners, ready to go. Here's the 1-2 pitch on its way, and that one swung out and missed. Strike 3, and Josh Barlow down on strikes for the second time. The third strikeout tonight by Dalton Gray. And there's 2 outs back to the top of the lineup. Here's Ty Anderson. Anderson has grounded to short and singled in his last at-bat in the 3rd inning and came around to score a run in that inning for Carbon. First pitch to Anderson, a fastball misses away, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes, the count on Anderson. Lewis over at first base gets his lead. Gray hasn't seemed too concerned with Lewis. That one swung out and missed as the fastball came up and in. A pitch that was out of the strike zone, but it gets Anderson to chase, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike here on Anderson. No ball, or 1 ball and 1 strike to count. The pitch on its way swung on and fouled away, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now here on Anderson. So Gray has stayed ahead in the count. Ready to go. Here's the 1-2 pitch about to come home. And the 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3, and the inning is over. So Dalton Gray strikes out the side. We head to the 5th here at Brent Brown Ballpark. An 8-4 lead for Juan Diego here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Top of the 5th inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark in Orem, Utah, as Juan Diego coming up with an 8-4 lead, as back out to go to work here right now, as Cooper Rust will lead it off. Ready to go on the first pitch on its way, misses for ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. Chase Morgan will go back to work here. 1 ball and no strike count here on Cooper Rust. For joining us late, Rust was on the mound a couple innings ago and took a line drive that came back and kind of hit him in the hip as he swung around to field it, as Rust swings and misses. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Stayed in the game to finish out the inning on the mound and started the following inning, and then was pulled for Dalton Gray. Here's the 1-1 pitch, about ready to come home, and that one is going to be lightly fouled back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count here. One ball and 2 strikes as Rust will stand back in. Working here from the stretch, and the pitch from Morgan on its way. That one's hit out into center field. Coming over and getting under it to make the catch is Wilson, and there's 1 away. So a nice hard hit baseball off the bat, but just a line drive in the box score, so to speak. And that was just going to be recorded as an out. And here is the third baseman, Campbell McGrain. McGrain's flown out to right and singled back in the 3rd inning, but when McGrain was running over at first base, he got picked off to end the inning. Ready to go, the first pitch to Campbell McGrain is going to be lined, a 1-hopper backhanded by Anderson at short. He'll throw across the diamond in time, and there's 2 away. You can hear the sound of the pop on the bat on that one, and just a hard hit ball that took a really nice hop there for Ty Anderson at shortstop. I mean, he just took a hop almost right into his glove, where sometimes you'll see that ball hit the dirt or hit the lip of the infield grass and just bounce up over the head. That one, though, right at Anderson. Here's 2 outs, and here is Colin Helgeson. 2 for 2 with a single and a triple. That one inside for a ball. It's 1 ball and no strikes on the Juan Diego catcher. Top of the 5th inning, getting into the later innings here of high school baseball. Scheduled to play 7 here tonight. The 1-0 pitch on its way. Helgeson hits this one to right, and that ball is going to be fair down into the corner. Helgeson digging for second. The relay throw is going to be offline, and Colin Helgeson now with a double. He's a home run short of the cycle, and another hard hit baseball down the right field line. And Juan Diego has found a way here with 2 outs to extend the inning for the first baseman, Colby Finn. And we'll have someone come in and run. I would imagine that's going to be Lorenzo Soto, who's been running all night. And it is. It's Lorenzo Soto to run here for Helgeson, the catcher. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Morgan ready to go here from the stretch. Takes a look out at second. And now time will be called. Everybody steps off the mound, gets back to the bag. Colby Finn in the box, ready to go. The pitch on its way, inside and tight. Low for ball 1. It's 1 ball and no strikes, the count here on Colby Finn. Lorenzo Soto, the runner, gets his lead out at second base. Ty Anderson, the second baseman, the shortstop for Carbon, playing just behind the runner. The 1-0 pitch. About to come home. That one just off the plate, ball 2. And it's 2 balls and no strikes, the count here on Colby Finn. Finn 1 for 2, a double and a ground out to first on the evening for the Soaring Eagle of Juan Diego. Here's the 2-0 pitch on its way, a breaking ball. It settles in right on the outside corner. A nice breaking pitch there coming from Morgan, the current pitcher. 2 balls and a strike to count. Chase Morgan trying to get A 0 put up here in the 5th. The 2-1 pitch is going to be hit well by Finn out to deep right center field. That ball is going to go to the wall. Just below the scoreboard, Soto just kind of lightly jogs home, and in with an RBI double is Colby Finn, as they'll just kind of trade places. His second RBI double of the night as Soto comes in to score. And it's a 9-4 lead for Juan Diego. That ball was hit well out to deep right center field. The ball carrying quite well here in the cool temperatures. You'll see the ball carry a little bit better here at Brent Brown Ballpark during the day when the temperatures warm up. But here at night tonight, boy, the ball's carrying pretty well. 2 gone, and here's Gagan, the left fielder. Time called here, and they'll redo it. Get reset here with 2 outs. Gagan has struck out and reached on a walk and scored a run, and there chases a breaking ball down and in the dirt, and snowballs and a strike on Gagan. Colby Finn, the runner out at second base, getting his lead, a pretty big lead actually, as he gets towards right there. He's almost right in front of the shortstop. Pitch on its way, a breaking ball. That one just gets in the strike zone, and it's 0-2 on Gagan. Chase Morgan looking to try to rub off the last run. That one's going to be grounded over to third in the hole. Anderson's going to have to make a good throw, and he just didn't make it in time. It was hit deep in the hole, and Ty Anderson made a great play to get to the baseball and put a good throw on over to first, but Gagan's speed's able to beat it out for the infield single, and the runner Colby Finn moves down to third. And now you go back to the top of the Juan Diego lineup, and here's Dawson Stiefel. Stiefel 0 for 2 with a walk to go along with a strikeout and also a ground out to short. And this 9-4 lead for Juan Diego. The pickoff move, and back diving underneath the tag is Gagan. Robinette will hold them on over at first. From the stretch, the pitch on its way right on the outside corner. 0-1 the count here on Stiefel. Phil Hamill in the on-deck circle for Juan Diego would hit if the inning continues. No balls and a strike the count. The right-hander ready to go. The pitch on its way. Breaking balls hit out to left field. Stiefel makes a couple of steps in. The left fielder, that is Barlow, makes a couple of steps in, then goes out, and the inning's over. Juan Diego adds 1. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Juan Diego 9, Carbon 4. It's the 2017 Class 3A Utah State Baseball Tournament on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Gavin Robinette to stand in and lead it off. He swings at the first pitch and misses. No balls and a strike, as Dalton Gray will head back to work here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 9-4 lead right now for Juan Diego, as Robinette swings and hits that one well to left. Going back, it's going to be off the wall, as Gagan will misplay it, and then going into seconds, Robinette, the throw comes in late as Gagan was back against the track, and the ball just came right off the wall and bounced past him. And so Robinette on second base with a leadoff double here in the 5th inning. Second time that Robinette's been aboard. And now I believe we're going to get Vega to come in again and run over. In fact, we're going to get a new runner out there at second base for Carbon. It's going to be Braxton Bennett, a sophomore, who will run in this situation, will run instead of Vega. Braxton Bennett in at second to run. As now the change being officially made by Carbon. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's going to be Cody Lowe, the right fielder, will be the hitter. So they kind of take some time here to get the change made. And what I don't know is the way it's not going to be a pinch runner. It's going to be still the speed up runner out there at second base. Nobody out. Here's Lowe. First pitch, Lowe reaches for it and makes contact, but it fouls it away back over the top of the roof here of the stadium. It's 0-1. The winner of this one will get Pineview. We'll get the Panthers tomorrow at 1:30 here at Brent Brown Ballpark, and another elimination game is got to win 2 tomorrow to advance to Saturday. The 0-1 pitch blocked in the dirt. A good stop there behind the plate by Helgeson, and it's 1-1. Got to win 2 tomorrow. You got to win at either 11 or 1:30, and then come back at 7 again in the late game, and you have to find a way to win that one to advance to Saturday morning's 10 a.m. game. The 1-1 pitch misses away for a ball, and it's 2 balls and a strike. So kind of a long road here in the bottom part of the bracket. You come back to play at 10 on Saturday, and then you have to win potentially to win the state championship. You have to try to find a way to win 3 on Saturday. The 2-1 pitch on its way home. And that one swung out and missed, and it's 2-2 as Lowe just swung through it. So it will be an interesting setup out of the bottom part of the one-loss bracket to try to work through it, because of the fact that you have to win so many games on Saturday. And we'll see how much pitching you have left by Saturday. The 2-2 pitch, checking his swing, but it looks like it was going to be outside anyway, ball 3. And the count goes to 3-2 here on Lowe. Clouds beginning to leave, starting to see more really light blue sky as the nighttime begins to fall. There's a called strike 3 at the knees as Lowe goes down. The 3rd time that Lowe's been down on strikes. That's strikeout number 4. Sorry, strikeout number 5 on the night for Dalton Gray. And here's the pitcher, Chase Morgan. Morgan 1 for 2, a double and a fly out to left. No batting gloves for Morgan, who will stand back in. And Gray comes home. Morgan pops this one high up into shallow right field. Going out to second baseman, it will be Stiefel and Wright, though, that will call him off and make the catch. And there's 2 away. So just kind of what you want right there. If you're Dalton Gray, is 1 pitch and you get the 2nd out of the inning. And with 2 away, it's going to bring up Cameron Gunter. Gunter has kind of been the Achilles heel tonight of Juan Diego pitching. A double and a triple, has scored a run. Had an RBI on that triple. That one's going to be popped up and foul. And sorry, just swung out and missed, and it's 0-1. Begin to see the traffic come down University Parkway. The headlights. The 0-1 pitch on its way high and tight, kind of twisting and turning out of the way is Gunter, and the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Dalton Gray working here from the stretch. The 1-1 pitch swung out and missed. And it's 1-2 the count here on Cameron Gunter. Gunter will look here to try to get the big base hit here to extend the inning right now. What Carbon needs is getting into these later innings. Carbon's down to 7 outs, and they need to get some runs now. Now you get a little more urgent to have those 2 or 3 run innings. The pitch misses off the plate for a ball, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So you see a little more urgency now to get some bigger innings and kind of bite off a little more of the chunk of the deficit. Gray ready to go. Here's the 2-2 pitch on its way. That one's right off the plate, ball 3, and the count moves to 3 balls and 2 strikes here on Cameron Gunter. Nate Olson, the designated hitter, would hit next for Carbon if the inning continues. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count, and the 3-2 pitch on its way inside and tight, ball 4. The runner's caught between second and third. The throwdown is going to get the runner at second, and the inning is over. So the walk doesn't come back to help, as it was Braxton Bennett who got a little too far off between second and third. A good throw by Colin Helgeson, and the inning's over. We head to the 6th there at Brent Brown Ballpark. Juan Diego 9, Carbon 4. You're watching the 2017 Class 3A Utah State Baseball Tournament here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Top of the 6th inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark in Orem, Utah. And it will be Juan Diego coming up with the Soaring Eagle leading 9-4 as Phil Hamill, Dalton Gray, and Easton Rex, 2, 3, and 4 coming up here. And Hamill will see the first pitch here. He'll chase, and he couldn't quite hold up, and it's 0-1 here on Phil Hamill. Hamill has scored 2 runs tonight, had a inside the park home run in the 4th inning on a ball that was just a line drive shot into center field, and Wyatt Wilson, the center fielder, made a great attempt at it. The 0-1 pitch swung out and missed, and it's 0-2 here on Hamill. And when the center fielder, Wyatt Wilson, tried to come up with the catch, he made a very valiant effort, but the dive, he just couldn't come up with it, and rolled all the way to the wall. And with Hamill's speed, he was able to score from first as the 0-2 pitch misses for a ball. It's 1-2 the count here on Phil Hamill. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. 9-4 lead for Juan Diego. The 1-2 pitch, and Hamill hits this one to center. As Wilson gets back under it, he'll reach up and make the catch, and there's one away. So 1 gone. Here's Dalton Gray. Gray singled in the 1st, flew out to center in the 2nd, walked in the 4th, and was stranded on the base paths. Dalton Gray, the pitcher, came in to replace the starter, Cooper Rust. The pitch on its way, and swinging first pitch pops it up. Appears to be playable at third. Lewis in foul territory will make the catch, and there's 2 away. There's a high kind of pop-up, and a nice job there by Colin Lewis, the third baseman, to be able to find it, look up, into the lights here at Brent Brown Ballpark and be able to make the catch. And with 2 outs, here's Easton Rex. Rex hit a grand slam, flew out to center and struck out, and the pitch on its way is in there at the knees for a called strike, and it's 0-1 to Rex. Chase Morgan, the right-hander, going back to work. Ready to go from the stretch. The 0-1 pitch is going to miss for a ball, and the count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike on Easton Rex. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Rex goes the other way. A nice fly ball to left field, but a nice job there by the left fielder. That is Barlow to run it down, and the inning's over. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Carbon with some work to do. They need some runs as Juan Diego leading this one 9-4 here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com.
Designated hitter number 12, Nate Olson.
Nate Olson gets ready to step in to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning, and the first pitch from Dalton Gray is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1 here on Dalton Gray. Here on Nate Olson. Olson was the first hitter that Gray faced as the 0-1 pitch misses away for a ball. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Olson has a sacrifice fly to left and a strikeout on the evening for Carbon. The 1-1 pitch on its way swung out and missed. It's 1-2 the count on Olson. Olson, Colin Lewis, and then Wyatt Wilson coming up here for Carbon. The 1-2 pitch, and they're able to check his swing and hold up is Olson, and it's 2-2. The left-hander kicks and delivers. Gray comes home. That one low, ball 3. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. The count here on Gray. No action in the Juan Diego bullpen here in the 6th. So right now, Dalton Gray seems to be their guy. The 3-2 pitch. That one's going to be lined to center. Jared Perry coming in. That's going to fall for a base hit. And on with a leadoff single is Nate Olson here in the 6th. And really right now, the biggest thing that Carbon needs is they need some base runners. Obviously, they need runs, but some base runners to get that started would be huge. So here's to Colin Lewis. Lewis was hit by a pitch in his only plate appearance. Gray ready to go, and the pitch to Lewis is going to miss a little bit high for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Gray started his appearance in relief with the 1-0 pitch misses high, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Gray started by striking out Nate Olson, and then the second hitter he faced was Colin Lewis, and he hit Lewis. But then came back to get the next 2 guys on strikeouts. The pitch over for a called strike, and it's 2-1. And that ended any sort of Carbon threat in the 4th inning. As it'll be a 2-ball, 1 strike count here to Lewis. Ready to go. Here's the 2-1 pitch on its way, fouled straight back. Dawson Stiefel in right field is playing almost in right center, a huge gap and a huge hole down the line. Stiefel, who runs well, would have still a lot to run down here. The left fielder for Juan Diego playing more towards the line. That one's popped up, playable on the infield. Gray's gonna call everybody off. He'll make the catch. A step into foul territory, and there's one away. So here is Wyatt Wilson now. Wilson 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. So Wilson will try to get on the positive side of an at-bat here and try to come up with a big one-out hit to extend this inning for Carbon. Pitch on its way. That one's in there for a called strike to Wilson. It's no balls and a strike. Running over at first base, Nate Olson, who had a leadoff single to start the 6th. Gray comes home. That one swung out and missed, and it's 0-2. The left-hander, Dalton Gray, going to work here. Cooper Rust went the first about 2 2/3. Here's the 0-2 pitch on its way, a fastball that misses high. It's 1-2 the count here on Wyatt Wilson. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and Wilson fouls that one away, and it will remain 1-2 here on Wyatt Wilson. Wilson has had a nice game in center field. Outside of the diving attempt that he missed, and it went for an inside the park home run, he's made some nice plays, has run into the gaps well. There's a chopper to short. This could be 2. They'll underhand toss for 1, and that's all they're going to get. The second baseman, Rust, I think, thought there was 2 outs in the inning as he tossed the ball back to the pitcher's mound like he thought that the inning was over. And I was wondering why Rust, who may have had a shot at second, now he's talking with Phil Hamill, and I think Rust thought there was 2 outs in the inning. There's only 1, and now we're going to have, it looks like, a pinch hitter coming to the plate here for Josh Barlow. It's going to be, and I don't have a number 20 here on my roster, so I'll have to wait to see who they announce as
number 20, JP.
So I believe it's going to be Howell will be the hitter, number 20, with 2 away. Wilson reaches on the fielder's choice. So I believe it's Howell in for Barlow. And the first pitch misses for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes on Howell. Ty Anderson would hit next if the inning continues. Back to the top of the lineup. That one in there for a called strike and moves to no balls and a strike. Carbon does not have the next hitter in the on-deck circle. They have the next hitter actually in the top step of the dugout. Runner takes off. The throw from Helgeson is not going to be in time. The quick swipe tag, but the ball got behind the second baseman Rust, but Phil Hamill right there to back it up. So a nice job there by Wyatt Wilson, able to take second base. And now with 2 gone, it's going to, here, it'll be a 2-1 count, a good hitter's count here for Howell. Time called here by the batter. He'll step out of the batter's box here. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark, the final game of the day here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Back at it tomorrow morning at 11. Checks his swing, and he did not go. They'll appeal, and the base umpire says no, ball 3. 2 umpires here for this round of ball games, 1 behind the plate and 1 on the base pass. I believe they'll go to a 3-man crew for the state championship on Saturday. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and the kick and the delivery comes in. That one at the knees for a called strike. And it's 3-2 the count on Howell. Dalton Gray has done a nice job here, working here quickly. Looking for the big final strike here to end any sort of carbon threat. The Dinos need a few hits to continue the threat. Runner goes for third, and that one's rolled foul back behind the plate. So we see right there Wyatt Wilson taking off with the pitch. I don't know necessarily if the hit and run was on, but we saw in the it was in the bottom of the, I believe it was the 5th inning, a similar situation. That one fouled away. It was in the 5th. It was Cameron Gunter who had the walk. Braxton Bennett was the runner at second base, and Bennett got caught in between second and third, and Colin Helgeson made a good throw down to Phil Hamill, and that was the final out of the inning. But Carbon looking to find something here to jumpstart their offense. And count is full. Runner on at second base will get his lead. That is Wilson. Here's the 3-2 pitch about to come home. And the delivery is going to be bounced up the middle, charging and coming up on it. The throw from Hamill in time to Finn, and the inning is over. We head to the 7th here at Brent Brown Ballpark. Juan Diego 9 and Carbon 4. We head to the last scheduled inning. Juan Diego on top here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Top of the 7th inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark in Orem, Utah. And right now, Juan Diego in control here with a 5-run lead as we start the 7th inning. Juan Diego wouldn't mind adding a run or two just to give a little bit of insurance, as it will be the middle part, Cooper Rust, Campbell McGrain, and then Colin Helgeson coming up. The first pitch on its way, a breaking ball that misses for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes here on Cooper Rust. Rust is 0 for 3, a strikeout and a pair of flyouts to center for the Juan Diego second baseman. The 1-0 pitch on its way. That one's fouled back to the screen. Hits off the very top of the netting. I mentioned earlier there's just a small, kind of a small crease in between the netting and the rooftop here at Brent Brown Ballpark, and that one hit off just the very top of the netting. Almost got there in between the netting here. The 1-1 pitch about to come home. And this one right on the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 1-2 on Cooper Rust. The lights taking full effect here tonight on a Thursday night for baseball, as teams will continue to march towards Saturday. The 1-2 pitch swung out and missed. And they'll have to throw down to first to complete the strikeout, and they do. And there's one away. That's the first strikeout, the second overall in the ball game, but it's only the first strikeout since the first hitter that Morgan came into face. Morgan struck out Easton Rex back in the 4th. That was the first hitter that Chase Morgan faced. And the 1-0 pitch, the first pitch is going to miss for a ball to Campbell McGrain. McGrain has flown out to right field, singled, and grounded out to short on the evening for Juan Diego. Ready to go, Chase Morgan on the hill. The 1-0 pitch misses for a ball. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Working here, ready to go. Here's the 2-0 pitch on its way. And the 2-0 pitch comes home, a breaking ball that settles below the knees for ball 3. It's 3 balls and no strikes here on Campbell McGrain. The 3-0 pitch on its way in there for a called strike. And it's 3-1 on McGrain. McGrain seems to be right now just kind of forcing the pitcher to come over the plate. Here's the 3-1 pitch, misses low, ball 4. McGrain draws a 1-out walk in the 7th, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Colin Helgeson. Well, Helgeson back in the 1st inning had a base hit, tripled in the 4th, and doubled back in the 5th. Has scored. He's been ran for by Lorenzo Soto, who's come in to score 3 runs in his at-bats. But Helgeson needs a home run to complete the cycle. And the pitch on its way, Helgeson takes that one away for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. The count on the catcher for Juan Diego. The cycle is something you don't see a ton throughout baseball. You have to have a single, a double, a triple, and a home run in generally 1 in each at-bat. The 1-0 pitch on its way. That one in the dirt, skips away, and moving up with ease and taking second base is McGrain. It's a tough feat because, first off, just to get 4 hits in a game, especially the higher the level you get in baseball, it can be difficult to try to continue to get those hits. But to have to get them 1 in every ball game, it can be hard. And the 1-1 pitch, and Helgeson lines this one. Anderson with a nice backhand. He'll throw to third, and they didn't get him. The throw, it looks like, they're going to say pulled the runner, and getting into third is going to be McGrain. A heads-up play by Anderson there to go to third to try to get the lead runner. Had plenty of time, but McGrain must have just gotten in underneath the tag. We'll have somebody come in to run speed up over at first, and I would imagine the pattern continues. That will be Lorenzo Soto, who will come in to run over at first. It'll be Colby Finn will be the hitter as a right-hander begins to throw down in the bullpen for Juan Diego, and now that's not going to be Finn. That appears to be number 3 for Juan Diego. Peyton Seam appears to be the runner over at first. The pitcher warming up. Can't quite get a number on who the right-hander is down in the bullpen. So Seam to run over at first. Here's Colby Finn. Runners on the corners. The pickoff move, and Seam is back standing. So Seam into run here for Helgeson. Soto's had a very nice night running the base paths, scoring the 3 times, but Peyton Seam now getting an opportunity to come off the bench. That one missing for a ball. One out here in the top of the 7th inning. Juan Diego leading by 5, but looking to add a run or 2 of insurance here with runners on the corners. The 1-0 pitch as Finn hits this one out to left. It's going to fall for a base hit in front of the left fielder Barlow. And coming in to score from third is going to be McGrain. And just kind of what you were looking for, some sort of insurance run. You get the 3rd RBI hit of the night for Colby Finn to extend the inning. And now you're going to have a pinch hitter. It's going to be Lorenzo Soto, who will come in and hit for Gagan. So Soto to hit for Gagan. It'll be the first time Soto's hit in the ball game. I'm going to see here if we can get any sort of a look as to who the right-hander is down there. One out here in the 7th, 1 run in for Juan Diego. The 1-0 pitch on its way, swung out and missed by Soto, and it's 0-1. That may be Dawson Stiefel. Whoever it is came running in from the bullpen, and it's ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes, which would make sense because Stiefel is the next hitter, and there's nobody in the on-deck circle yet. So Stiefel, who can pitch for Juan Diego, appears like he very easily could be the next pitcher. The 2-0 pitch about ready to come home. And Soto lifts this one into right. Taking a few steps back and making the catch is low in right field. Tagging as the throw is going to be offline, and moving up 90 feet from second to third is Seam, the runner. And Soto flies out. There's 2 outs. Here's Dawson Stiefel. Stiefel 0 for 3 with a walk, has scored a run in the ballgame. Most recent at-bat flew out to left field. So Stiefel will stand in ready to hit. If Juan Diego holds on, they will play again tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 against Pineview. Pineview, the number 3 seed out of Region 9. Region 9 having a pretty good showing still at this tournament. And the pitch on its way, that one right on the outside corner. Of the teams in Region 9, Pineview and Snow Canyon are still alive. At the top part, you have Region 9 number 1 seed Dixie, who rolled Snow Canyon this morning 12-2. That one ended early due to the 10-run mercy rule. Stiefel takes that one high for a ball, and it's 1-0 on Stiefel. Runners on the corners here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. Coming up for Carbon in the bottom of the inning, it will be the top of the lineup, Ty Anderson, Gavin Robinette, and Cody Lowe. So if there's a part of the lineup you want coming up if you're Carbon, you probably want those guys. The 1-0 pitch is inside and low for ball 2, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. The field in really good shape here at Brent Brown Ballpark. With the amount of games it's going to see over the course of the next about week or so. Then the field will get a break until the minor league team comes in for the summer. It's a 3-0 count to Stiefel, and this one inside and on the corner for a called strike. It's 3-1 on Dawson Stiefel. Two outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Ready to go. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That one misses high and away, ball 4. And the bases are full for Juan Diego here in the 7th. Bases loaded, pretty good speed, and Phil Hamill coming to the plate. We're going to have a visit to the mound, and I wonder if this might be the end of the line here for Chase Morgan. The last thing you want to do if you're Carbon, it's already a 6-run ball game here heading into the bottom of the 7th inning. But the last thing you want to do is give up a couple of more runs and really push this one out of reach. Even at 6 right now, with the way that Juan Diego's been pitching, it's going to be hard to kind of chip your way back into this one. But however, if you're able to do it, the last thing you want to do is really extend the lead here anymore. And a ball in the gap right now would probably clear the bases and would make it a 9-run ball game. So not to play worst case scenario, but really if you're Chase Morgan right now, you're looking for any way you can get that final out of the inning. Working here from the stretch, Morgan will take a look at third, and the pitch to Phil Hamill bounces in the dirt for a ball. It's 1 ball and no strikes to count here on Phil Hamill. Bases loaded. Running over at third base is Peyton Seam. Colby Finn at second. Dawson Stiefel over at first. The Oh, the 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Base is full right now. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one blocked in the dirt, ball 2, and it's 2-1 the count right now on Phil Hamill. Working right now from the stretch. Morgan takes a long look in. The 2-1 pitch. Right on the outside corner, but missed low, ball 3. It's 3 balls and a strike on Phil Hamill. Juan Diego looking to try to see if they can really just open this one up. The 3-1 pitch. Hamill fouls it back. It's 3-2, and now the danger comes because Dawson Stiefel and the base runners can be taking off with the 3-2 pitch. Oh, how big a final strike would be here for Chase Morgan. Morgan takes a long look in. Here's the 3-2 pitch on its way. It's going to be hit out into deep left center field. Going back is Wilson. He's going to dive. He didn't come up with it. It's the very deepest part of the park, the 427 mark. Hamill around second. He's going to go to third. He will have the stop sign put on, and Phil Hamill has cleared the bases and has made this one a 9-run ball game here in the 7th. Hamill with 5 RBIs on the night. And that just shows you how big that free pass to Stiefel was. And now it's going to bring up Dalton Gray. And now you have to think, if you're Carbon, you have a ton of work coming up the bottom of the inning. The pitch misses high, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. The Dinos will need now to have 9 guys come across the plate to tie. They would need 10 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning, or bottom of the 7th inning, I mean, to walk off and win this one. The 1-0 pitch is going to be lined foul. That one just up and off the roof, and evens the count up at 1-1. Back at it here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. That one gets in there at the knees for a called strike, and it's 1-2. That will be a fun ball game. Canyon View and Snow Canyon. Canyon View came in as the number 1 seed out of Region 12. The 1-2 pitch high and tight for a ball, and it evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The winner of this one right now looks to be Juan Diego. They will get Pineview at 1:30. Here's the 2-2 pitch on its way. That one lined right back up the middle. Base hit for Dalton Gray. Scoring from third is Hamill, and it is a 14-4 lead for Juan Diego. And for the second time tonight, the Soaring Eagle will send 9 men to the plate in an inning, as it will be Easton Rex who will stand in. Rex got this ball game started off with a bang for Juan Diego, a grand slam back in the first, clearing the bases as the first 4 men for the Soaring Eagle reach. The fastball misses away, ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes here on Easton Rex. The rest of the way, Rex has flown out to center, struck out, and flown out to left in his last at bat. Here's the 1-0 pitch on its way. That one in at the knees, and it evens the count up at 1-1 on Easton Rex. A 14-4 lead right now for Juan Diego. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that one's going to be lifted down the line in foul territory. Long run for everybody, and no one's going to get there. Barlow came running in. It was Lewis at third and Anderson all trying to kind of come into the triangle, and somebody was going to try to get there, but it fell right in the middle of all 3. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count will remain here on Easton Rex. Here's the 1-2 pitch, about ready to come home from the stretch. And the 1-2 pitch. That one's a high chopper up over the head of the first baseman. That is Robinette. Over for going from 1 to 3 on the play is going to be Dalton Gray. And with 2 outs, just another high chopper gets through, and Juan Diego will bat around here in the 7th inning, and that will bring up the man that let it off, Cooper Rust. And I think right now we'll have a visit out to the mound here by Jones behind the plate. Rust actually started the inning off with a strikeout. And Rust, earlier in the ball game, if you're just joining us, was the starting pitcher for Juan Diego. Took a line drive as he came home right back, and it kind of hit him in the side of the hip. You could hear the kind of the sound that it made when it came back and hit Rust. Not really sure exactly how to describe it, but came back and just hit the pitcher Rust, and that one would extend the inning. But Rust was able to remain in the ball game for Juan Diego. And we're going to have someone come in and run. Michael Danino will come in and run over at first. The pitch on its way, a breaking ball in there for a called strike to Rust, and it's 0-1. So good to see Cooper Rust stay in the ball game for Juan Diego. He's going to have a bruise probably in the morning, if not already, from taking that shot. The 0-1 pitch about ready to come home, and the delivery is going to be bouncing the hole at short. Anderson up with it. He'll have to make the throw across the diamond, which he does just in time to get Cooper Rust, and the inning is over. However, Juan Diego adds 5 here in the 7th. It's a 14-4 lead for Juan Diego. Carbon has their final shot coming up after the break here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Bottom of the 7th inning here at Brett Brown Ballpark. The last chance for Carbon as Anderson leads it off and hits this one down the right field line. Going to be a long run going over and sliding, and not making the catch in right is Stiefel, and Anderson's in with a leadoff double. You have to start somewhere right now, and Ty Anderson able to reach base for the 2nd time this evening, and it will bring up Gavin Robinette. So Robinette, who has doubled, been hit by a pitch, and flown out to right, will stand in. Robinette got the start on the mound for Carbon. Ready to go. Here's the first pitch on its way. And the pitch is going to be right on the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 0-1. No balls and a strike here on Robinette. Robinette had a double in his last at-bat. The 0-1 pitch about to come home. And that one's going to be hit out to right. Giving it a look as the right fielder. That's going to fall for a base hit. So the runners will move up as we have a new pitcher on the mound. I believe that is Stiefel. Yeah, Stiefel is the new pitcher. Jared Perry is in right. and Dalton Gray goes back to center field. So they basically just kind of shift around a little bit here. So we'll go back here and update everything. Gray back to center. Perry out and right. And well, that would still be Rust at second. But now runners on the corners, and it's going to be, looks like a pinch hitter standing in for Lowe. It's going to be Zach Bradley, the junior outfielder, to hit. And Bradley swings the first pitch, grounds it right back. They'll go to second for one. It's missed. The second baseman and shortstop miscommunicate, and Hamill comes over to make the out. However, they may have had a shot to get the hitter, Zach Bradley. But right there, instead, they'll just get the one. So Bradley reaches on the fielder's choice. And here comes Chase Morgan. Morgan 1 for 3 on the night. And Stiefel's ready, first pitch, a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 0-1. A 14-4 lead here for Juan Diego over Carbon. This game just coming up over about 2 hours and about 15 minutes as the pitch gets in there for a called strike. We got underway right about 7:15 or so. And it's 0-2 the count here on Morgan. From the stretch, here's the 0-2. Fastball misses high and away. And it's 1-2 the count on Morgan. Runners on the corners right now. Bradley, the runner, over at first, over at third. It's Ty Anderson, the 1-2 pitch, lifted, and that one's going to go well foul, and we'll have another 1-2 pitch coming. Back at it tomorrow, 11 a.m. first pitch here on KSL.com, DeseretNews.com. We'll set the schedule for you before we sign off for the night. The 1-2 pitch, high, ball 2. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Dawson Stiefel right now trying to just close this one down and get Juan Diego into playing for another day. Here's the 2-2 pitch on its way home. That one's going to be hit down the left field line. It's going to fall right there in front of the left fielder. That is Gagnon in left field, and a big RBI single for Chase Morgan. His second hit of the ball game as Ty Anderson scores. Moving down to second is Zach Bradley, and now here's Cameron Gunter. Gunter 2 for 2, with a walk, a couple of extra base hits, a double and a triple for Carbon. Carbon right now, they were able to get one here in the 7th. Looking for about 9 more. Runners on at first and second with 1 away. Stiefel from the stretch kicks and delivers this one high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Stiefel can throw about 35 pitches without having to have a day's rest, which could be big at this point. Playing later on, he wouldn't have to as long as he stays under 35 pitches. The 1-0 pitch on its way, swung out and missed, and the count even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Some of the new pitch count rules that we'll talk about throughout the tournament. 1 ball and a 1 strike to count. The pitch on its way, high and tight, ball 2. It's 2 balls and a strike here on Gunter. Nate Olson will hit next for Carbon. Bradley at second. You see him there at home, getting his lead at second base. The 2-1 pitch and stepping off here and looking the runners back. The 2-1 pitch inside and tight, ball 3, and the count runs to 3-1 here on Gunter. A Quick word here as Helgeson will go out and talk with Stiefel here for Juan Diego. Quiet night here at the ballpark. A good amount of fans, though, for both teams still in the stands. Most of Carbon sitting right behind the third base dugout. Juan Diego a little more spread out, but a majority of them right next to the first base dugout. The 3-1 pitch about to come home, and that one inside and tight, but it hits the corner for a called strike 2, and the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here on Gunter. Stiefel from the stretch takes a look at second and will throw over to first, and they almost picked the runner off. Colby Finn kind of snuck behind the runner who was getting a pretty favorable lead, and Finn just snuck in there, and Stiefel almost got the pickoff move to pick the runner off. Here's the 3-2 pitch on its way home, inside and tight, called strike 3 on the inside corner. There's 2 away. Stiefel getting his first strikeout of the ball game. And now Carbon down to their final out. Here's Nate Olson. Olson had a sacrifice fly, struck out, and singled back in the 6th. That wide open stance right now, that front foot pulled out towards left field. And Stiefel will look the runner back to second. The left fielder for Juan Diego kind of not really hugging the line, but very much favoring the left field foul line. Big gap out in left center field. The pitch on its way. That one's in there for a called strike. And it's 0-1. A pretty big outfield here for these outfielders that will play here in the next about 7 or 8 days. If you haven't played here, it's just a lot of ground to cover. There's a lot of kind of nooks and crannies to the ballpark. A lot of different ways the ball can bounce off the wall. That one's going to be popped up and fouled away off the roof, and Olson will be down to his final strike. The Dinos down to their final strike. Olson down to his final strike. Stiefel trying to get the final strike and advance Juan Diego to the next round. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses away for a ball. It's 1-2 here on Olson. Infield back here for Juan Diego. They just need an out at any base at this point. The 1-2 pitch on its way. That one's going to be chopped over towards third. Up with it is McGrain. His throw is in time, and the ball game is over. Juan Diego has advanced into the next round here of the Class 3A State Baseball Tournament. Juan Diego will get ready to play tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 when they will get the Region 9 number 3 seed, the Pineview Panthers. What a day it has been. Juan Diego able to pull out this one by a score of 14-5. Let's go ahead and set the schedule quickly for tomorrow. We're back at it bright and early at 11 a.m. It will be the Snow Canyon Warriors against the Canyon View Falcons. That one comes up at 11. It will be Pineview against Juan Diego at 1:30. The 4:30 game will be actually a top part of the bracket, teams that have not lost a game yet. It will be the number 1 seed Dixie taking on Park City. The Miners having a kind of come from behind victory against Pineview earlier this afternoon. That one will be at 4:30. Then the late game will feature the winners of Snow Canyon, Canyon View against Pineview or Juan Diego. That's coming up tomorrow here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. I'm Ryan Pickens signing off for tonight, where tonight Juan Diego comes out on top over Carbon.